Hey everyone, this is our new podcast from the Future Baseball GM's LinkedIn group official podcast. I am Eric Dragmeyer, and I'm joined today by Andrew Boating and Chris Dominguez. So say hi everyone.
What's going on, guys? What's going on? What's going on?
What's up, everyone?
So yeah, we'll just sort of see how this goes. We have a couple of topics we're going to talk about tonight. Maybe in the future we'll have some sort of themes for around our discussions. But right now we're just sort of trying to get our feet wet and just talk about baseball for a little bit. So Andrew, our first topic today was our favorite player, our favorite team, GM or prospect. Just sort of introduce everyone to maybe the team we grew up as a fan of, or maybe right now who we like. So I sort of have, if you guys don't mind me going first, I sort of have like three different teams that I grew up liking, which might be a little weird. My first team was the Red Sox. And I actually liked them. Like, I became a baseball fan. I was like 6 years old at the beginning of the 2004 season when they like won the World Series. Obviously, they broke that curse. I didn't know about the curse at the time. I just picked them randomly. It was from the Backyard Baseball 2003 video game. My dad got it from me from the library, and we installed it, and I was going through teams, and I just picked them randomly. I don't know why, but they were my first favorite team, and my favorite pitcher was Randy Johnson. He was a beast in that game, which was maybe why I liked him. But yeah, he was my favorite pitcher growing up, and I was so mad when he went to the Yankees. Yeah, that's another discussion. But yeah, I was mad when he went to the Yankees, and then I was happy when he sucked for the Yankees. So, favorite GM, I'd have to say Billy Beane, honestly. It might be the cliche answer, but like, he's been around the game for so long, and he's been like so consistently successful. You just have to respect the guy. So
he needs that ring. That's the last thing he needs.
Yeah. Well, he has to get to the World Series first.
Yeah.
Sure.
How about your favorite prospect?
I'd have to say Jared Kelenic. I think that dude is going to be a stud, and I think the Mets were foolish to get rid of him.
Oh yeah.
Like, he's going to be like one of the best young hitters in the game, honestly.
Yeah. What about your favorite players also?
Can I say Mike Trout, or is that too boring?
Oh, I'd probably say Mike Trout too.
If we all say Mike Trout, there's not even a point. I mean, do I have to defend why Mike Trout is my favorite player?
I know everyone's going to hate me when I say mine. That's 100%.
Oh, well, why don't we transition over to you then?
All right. Well, I'll start off with the favorite team. Well, I grew up in South Florida. Been here for 24 years. So I love the Miami Marlins easily. That's my favorite team. I started watching them, pretty much when they won the World Series in 2003. That's when I first started playing baseball and watching baseball. And but also, just kind of like Eric, I'm a Marlin fan, but I have a second team too. Pretty much my whole family are a bunch of Met fans. They're all from New York and stuff. So, they all love the Mets. So I kind of root for them also. Since the Marlins never make it to the playoffs, I kind of root for the Mets if they make it to the playoffs too. So honestly, two teams where fans really suffer a lot, the two teams I like. So, yeah.
But the Mets may have new ownership soon, so maybe there's a bright light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, and honestly, I kind of hope A-Rod gets it. I like A-Rod, so I do like Alex Rodriguez. He's I think he's really fixed his image really well too. So, yeah. But I have a few favorite GMs. I know Andrew knows one, which is Alex Anthopoulos. Almost every move he does, I really like. I like that he's so bold with his trades and stuff. Also, I do like AJ Preller also. You know, and I also do like Eric Neander. I know Andrew knows that too, because you know the Rays. Every time they make a move, I always text Andrew. I'm like, man, I was just thinking about how I love this player, and what happens? The Rays got him. So, like every single time. And my favorite prospect right now, it's funny, he's on the Rays, is Brandon McKay. I think I don't know why. I love the idea of two-way players, and I think McKay is one of the only, if not the only, prospect that I think can really do it right now. So I think he's interesting. I think he can really start, and I think he can hit. And that's extreme value. So I love that. And my favorite players, everyone's gonna think I'm a Padre fan too, but honestly, my favorite players are you ready?
Go for it.
Manny Machado.
No, I was afraid you were going to say that.
I love Manny Machado and I love Chris Paddock. Those are some of my two favorite players. And I also love Tommy Pham, so it's funny they're all on the Padres.
They're all on the Padres.
Yeah. And honestly, one of my favorite pitchers too, even though he got sent down, is Joey Lucchesi also. So, so it's funny how all my favorite players are on the Rays. I mean on the Padres. But yeah, I do like Machado. People hate him, but let me tell you something. Here in South Florida, a lot of people play the way he plays. That's why I wish he would have came to the Marlins, because I felt like fans would have appreciated his energy. So
okay, I love like the swagger of Manny Machado. I mean, Manny Machado, like, he just like oozes coolness, and I feel like he's cleaned up his act a lot since coming to San Diego.
Yeah.
Like when he was on the Orioles, there's some shady stuff with him, but he's kept his nose clean for a while. So
yeah.
So he had a walk-off grand slam yesterday. So
yeah, I don't need reminding about that.
Oh, was it? It was against the Rangers, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh shoot! So what about you, Andrew?
Yeah. So my name's Andrew, as you guys know. My favorite team, definitely the Blue Jays. Just a little bit about the story about how I got to love the Blue Jays. I believe it was back in 2010 when Batista went out for 54 home runs, and I would say I was more of like a casual fan. But the season after, when he hit, I believe it was 42, I believe it was, and he led the AL. Like, it really, really stuck with me, and I was like, you know what? Raptors aren't doing that good. This team has a lot of potential under Chris's guy, Alexandopoulos, and I just saw the potential with them, and I kept following, and I've loved the sport ever since. In terms of favorite GM, I'd say Andrew Friedman with the Dodgers. I just love everything that he's done there. The Mookie Betts trade, heist. Well, I probably shouldn't say that, but that was a really good trade. And the fact that they signed to an extension, it's just really, really, it's really good. Favorite prospect, I have two. So either Nolan Gorman or CJ Abrams.
I love CJ Abrams. A lot.
I'm a sucker for tools, right? 80 power for Nolan Gorman and 80 speed for CJ Abrams. So favorite players. Okay, so there's Mike Trout. Before it was Batista. I do like Josh Donaldson. I really like Josh Donaldson. He's a guy that I really wish things ended better with the Jays, but it is what it is.
You guys want to move on to the next question? I think it's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it does sort of relate, because we all had Mike Trout. Well, except for Chris. We both had Mike Trout as our favorite player, which leads us into the next question of, will Mike Trout go down as the greatest player of all time? What do you guys think?
You want to go first, Andrew?
Yeah, sure. Why not? I would say no, and the reason being is I feel like his owner, Artie Moreno. I hate to call him out like this, but it's a podcast, right? So it's just talk freely and stuff. Basically, like I feel like, well, Mike Trout's obviously stuck in Anaheim, right? Whichever GM, whether it be Billy Epler after this year, he's a free agent after this year. I'm not sure if he'll be back. Whether it be him, whether it be a new GM, no one's gonna have the stones to trade the greatest player of our generation, right? And he's stuck with an owner that's always like going out of his way, spending money on players that he don't necessarily need. Like the Anthony Rendon signing, I did not understand at all. He may be a great player, but like I didn't understand them signing him. So like I'll say no, only because like the people Mike Trout has himself associated with it, whether it be the owner, whether it be the GM. I don't see talent being cultivated there. But who knows? Maybe if they, I hate to say new GM, but like if they're able to somehow figure out the culture and stuff, and like figure out how they can develop pitching, which has been a struggle, I feel like it could change. It could probably he could probably end up one of the greatest, if not the greatest player of all time, because he's on pace to like do things that we haven't necessarily seen since. I think I read, was it Mays or was it Ruth? Like he's done some like in terms of like wins above replacement, um, just some of these things, man. Like hitting walk off home. I remember there's one season he hit like walk off homers like it seemed every other night. I don't know if you guys.
So one thing I read online was that no player in MLB history has racked up more WAR through their age 26 season than Mike Trout.
Yeah.
That's what I read, and that honestly I had no idea, and that's honestly extremely interesting. And I mean, for me personally, you know, when I was going back when you sent me this question, I was thinking, I was like, you know, it's interesting. For my first answer right away was no, and honestly, it still is no, you know, but because if you think of the best players, I wrote down this is who I think the best players are in no order. I have Barry Bonds, Ruth, Willie Mays, Ted Williams, Ty Cobb, Hank Aaron. Those to me are the best players. Yeah.
Yes.
And Mike Trout is definitely in that category. And it is a big debate. But I think the best players of all time I think people can debate. But I think Barry Bonds is the best player of all time. You know, I know he had the whole steroid issue. But I think even without it, I think he would have still have been the best player of all time, even without it, easily. And I think easily the best player of all time. You know, and I don't know. I just don't see Mike Trout as like he's amazing, one of the best ever. But I don't see him as someone that's as intimidating as Barry Bonds. Like I guarantee you, there won't be a single time in Mike Trout's career where he gets walked with bases loaded. Okay. You know,
that's insane, right? Yeah, that's insane. I think Kevin Gregg is the one Kevin Gregg, who played for my Blue Jays, pitched my Blue Jays as a closer. He's the guy that walked Barry Bonds. Yeah.
Kevin Gregg also played for the Marlins, and he was horrendous.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I just see Barry Bonds as the guy. You know, I mean, that man was video game numbers. You know what I mean? And Mike Trout's great, you know, but I just don't think he's Barry Bonds, even debatable Hank Aaron level. So, you know, those two are the best players in history, in my opinion. Also, probably Ted Williams. I would include in that too.
Yeah.
So,
I think Mike Trout, he needs to be in the postseason more. He needs postseason moments. That's the one thing I forgot to mention.
So that's the thing, right? Because like, all right. It's the same argument with Derek Jeter, right? Derek Jeter, technically, he's not like one of the greatest shortstops of all time. But
not even close.
Yeah, no, exactly. but because the man was like Kobe in the clutch and won so many rings and went to the playoffs so many times.
The public eye.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. You know, and Mike Trout just isn't that. You know, he isn't in the light all the time. And I mean, you know, nothing wrong with that. But you know, when you picture the best players of all time, I like to picture them in the postseason. And I know Barry Bonds never won anything, you know, but Barry Bonds has moments, you know, and I don't think Mike Trout has had those moments yet. So, but he's young still. People forget that he's still pretty young. So
Yeah.
he still has a way to go, and we'll see. I don't think he'll ever reach the 700 mark in home runs or any of that, but for sure he'll be like a 3,000 hitter, and people love WAR, and his WAR will be like one of the best of all time. So he'll definitely be one of the best of all time. But Barry Bonds, I don't know about that.
Well, I was going to say no, but after hearing y'all's answer, I kind of want to say yes, just to make things interesting, because, and this might be a cop-out, I can see the argument for both.
For sure. No,
So,
for sure.
but I also want to take myself back in time 10 years. I was saying the same thing about Albert Pujols. I was saying he was going to be one of, if not the best players of all time. And I mean, he is. He's a Hall of Famer. Like, he's going to get in first ballot without a question. But he's not one of the best players ever. And Mike Trout is still just 29 years old. He could fall off the map completely in his 30s. That's still within the realm of possibility, as much as it sucks to think about that.
Yeah.
It sucks to think about a world where, Mike Trout is producing like Albert Pujols is. It's possible. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but you never really know. I think Mike Trout's, like, his player profile is a lot better than Pujols's in terms of, like, the aging curve. Pujols, he only played first base. He was never really a good runner. Trout still has that stuff going for him on top of the bat. So that's my argument for no. But my argument for yes is that he's, like Chris has said, he's like, as if you go back and look at like leaders through age whatever season, every single year Trout has been like at the top of the list. It's either been him or like Honus Wagner, at the top of the list for whether it's, WAR or I can't even think, like OPS, is the same way. Trout has been like either number one or number two. And I mean, if that trend continues, then there's like almost no question that he'll be the greatest ever. But I think even if he is the greatest ever, he's never going to get the recognition. Because he doesn't get the recognition now, and he really never has. I mean, he's what, 3 MVPs or 4 MVPs or something like that? I don't remember how many, but really he could have easily won MVP in every single season since his rookie season. Like, the argument could have been made for that. I mean, personally, I think Mookie was better in 2018, and I think there was a season where he got hurt. 2017, he went on the DL for a while. But still, he could easily have like 9 MVPs, 8 or 9 MVPs instead of the 3 that he has. And that would put him up there with Barry Bonds. But he doesn't have those postseason hardware, like you guys were talking about. He doesn't have the rings. He was in one playoff series where the Angels got swept. Unless he just goes out and wins a bunch in his 30s, he's never going to be recognized the same way that people recognize Jeter or A-Rod.
And it's unfortunate because he is such an amazing player and he should be recognized like that. But like, if we're being honest, do you think Mike Trout is the face of Major League Baseball right now?
No.
I don't think so either. And to be honest, I don't even know who's the face of Major League Baseball right now, if we're being honest. And I think that actually goes perfect with our next question, because, our next question is how we'd improve the sport of baseball. And I think it's a big problem. MLB has no idea who the face of baseball is.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't even know. I don't know who the face of baseball is.
It could have potentially have been Aaron Judge, but like he's always hurt. He's hurt. He's on the deal right now, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
Aaron Judge. That's one
yeah.
guy I thought of, but yeah, he's always hurt.
Yeah, like I don't think MLB has that face. Like basketball has LeBron, or football has Patrick Mahomes. You know, baseball doesn't have that face. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, Mike Trout's the best player in baseball. I don't think there's any argument for that, but he's not really considered a face, you know. And I think it's because of what Eric was saying was the Angels, unfortunately, are always bad.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
They're either bad to mediocre, and
Yep.
it's just if they didn't have Mike Trout, I think they'd consistently be last place.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And let me tell you, and I would say the same. Let's say Patrick Mahomes was like on the Jaguars or something, and they were bad, and they were bad all the time. You know, I don't think he'd be the face of NFL either. You know what I mean? So like, I feel like you have to win in order to be a face. You know, if I can think one right away, it's kind of like what Andrew said. I would, you know, Aaron Judge or Mookie Betts. But honestly, it's not even. It's hard. It's hard to think of
Yeah,
who's
I
the
mean,
face.
the Yankees haven't won with Aaron Judge.
Exactly.
You know, maybe if they do, then he'll become that.
Yeah.
But I don't think right now he is. I mean,
Actually,
I kind of want to say, you know, I kind of want to say Juan Soto, but you
Oh,
know,
that's an interesting one. Yeah.
he's not really in a big market,
Mhm.
and I feel like people outside of baseball don't know who he is.
Yeah, but he's wicked awesome.
Yeah.
you know who's the face of baseball? Trevor
True.
Bauer.
He wants to be. That's the
You
funny
know,
thing.
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
Honestly though, like even my friend today, he knows nothing about baseball. I don't think he can name 5 players, to be honest with you. And he called me today and he was like, "Who's Trevor Bauer? I love him." And I was like, out of all the players, how do you know who Trevor Bauer is? You know, and
Uh,
honestly, people are starting to know who Trevor Bauer is because of how outspoken he is.
yeah.
See, Trevor
Yeah.
Bauer is really good at marketing himself.
Oh yeah,
I mean, on top of being a very good pitcher, he knows how to market himself. And I feel like Trout, not that Trout doesn't know how to market himself, he doesn't want to market
he
himself.
doesn't. Yeah, he
Yeah. He
Trout,
doesn't care for that. Yeah.
like I don't really obviously I don't know Trout personally, but he seems like a guy who just wants to go out and play the game and he doesn't want any attention. Which, you
Yeah.
know, I respect that, you know, more power
Mm.
to him.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, like I was saying, this next question, what else would you guys say how to improve the sport of baseball? You know, I mean, like I said, one thing is for sure marketing someone as the face. You know,
Yeah.
I think they need to do that because honestly, baseball has no face. You know,
Yeah.
someone needs to step up. You know, one thing that I will say how to improve baseball, and I've been saying this for years because it bothers me so much. And it was a perfect example happened recently with Fernando Tatis. You know, that whole argument about, you know, swinging 3-0 and his whole unwritten rules thing.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say too. That's
You
actually what I
know,
have here.
yeah, actually, I put my note is let the kids play. I know MLB had this whole slogan of let the kids play, and
Yeah.
I'm sorry they haven't followed it because
Yeah.
Tim Anderson is a perfect example of let the kids play, and he gets bashed all the time. I mean, the
Yeah.
dude is like so much fun to watch. He's exciting, you know. Someone like Jose Fernandez, one of my favorite. Actually,
Mhm.
he's a player. He's easily my favorite player of all time. Is Jose Fernandez. He was a player perfect example of letting the kids play. He was so much fun. Marlins games were actually packed every time he pitched. I promise you, every single time. That little thing makes such a big difference.
Yeah.
You know, of just letting them be who they are. You know, the thing with Joe Kelly, I'm sorry, was awesome. Um, you know, you know, let him. You know,
Yeah.
hockey, people love hockey, you know, just because it's fights. I mean, of course, you know, fighting isn't the greatest thing in the world, especially now with COVID.
Yeah.
but you know, there has to be some flair. There has
Yeah.
to be some flair. And you know, my family, both my parents are Dominican. You guys, I don't know if you guys see back there, but it's a plantain. You make
Oh,
mango out of
okay.
you make
I didn't
that's
notice.
how you make mango. You crush it up, make mango. But
Okay.
you know, in the islands, you know, I know, and even in Japan and Korea, I mean, and I think people got a glimpse of it, you know, is that the fans are totally different how they are here, and the players. I mean, have you ever seen highlights of bat flips in South Korea?
Yes.
It's unbelievable, and it's so much fun. God forbid you do a bat flip like freaking Daeho Lee or Young Ho Park, whatever his name is.
Hmm.
God forbid you do that here in the Major League Baseball, and you're gonna get a ball thrown right at your face. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
you know,
Well, I feel like we saw like just a glimpse of that in the World Baseball Classic when, you know, I think the Dominican Republic was playing games in like Marlins Stadium. And like the environment and the atmosphere there was like Game 7 of a World Series, but it was every inning, every pitch. The crowd
yeah,
was hanging on every pitch. And you just don't get that here, you know. Like the future of baseball is, you know, Latino. Like that's the way it is, and
Yeah.
they like it's part of the culture in Latin American countries, and like they need to embrace that because, you know, like these kids, like they work their butts off. Like if you're not signed by when you're 15, your career's over. They
yeah,
work
you
their
know,
butts off to get to the pros, and then they're not allowed to be excited about it. Like, are you kidding me?
yeah,
It's pretty ridiculous. Like it's sort of like the boomer mentality
yeah,
that's
and
still persisting in Major League Baseball.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, and you know, I know he has his faults. He's not perfect. No one's perfect, but I think a sad example of forcing someone not to be themselves is Yasiel Puig. I mean, I know he has his problems, he has his issues, you know, but I think the Dodgers just they just told him what to do too much, and they limited him way too much. Cause like Puig came from Cuba. Cuba, you celebrate, you have fun, you're very expressive. He did that here, and people are like, whoa, 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 whoa. That's not how we do it here. That's too much. You know, calm down. And I think that was a big reason why he dipped a little bit. I don't think he was comfortable or, you know, having as much fun as he should be. You know, that's why I mean that's why I was glad he left the Dodgers, to be honest. But you know, honestly, when players do that, you know, let them, you know, let them have fun. You know, let them go out, let them be crazy, let them lick their bat, bite their bat, whatever they gotta do. You
Yeah.
know,
He was great on Cincinnati, man. That Cincinnati team last season,
yeah.
oh man. Them and the Pirates when they went to fight. Oh, Amir Garrett. Oh man. We wow.
Amir Garrett
Wow.
is another example of a great, exciting young player.
And
I
Yeah.
love watching Amir Garrett.
like still to this day, like no one has signed Puig.
Yeah, I know the
I think
Braves
that's
signed him,
ridiculous.
but yeah, the Braves had signed him, but
They
they
were
they
going to, yeah.
they negged on the contract. Yeah, they negged on the
So,
contract because they said I don't know what the story was. He was hurt or something. I don't know.
no,
I don't, I
He
don't
had
he got
remember.
COVID.
COVID.
He had COVID.
Oh, he had COVID. Okay.
Yeah.
Man.
Which yeah, I Puig has way too much talent to not be playing right now, especially with the expanded rosters. And
Absolutely.
that's just because he has like this stigma about him that's totally unfair. That,
Yeah.
you know, he's a goof off or whatever because he
Yeah.
has fun while he's playing. I don't know
Yeah.
what it is really.
You know, I
Yeah.
mean, honestly, I just think baseball needs to do that. Just, you know, let them have fun. You know, I think
Yeah.
another perfect example is like Derek Dietrich. You know, I mean, he's not the greatest player, but you know, I mean, even though he wasn't the greatest player, he's exciting to watch. He has the one of the best home run celebrations or just trots, you know, and he's a fun player to watch. He wears like a giant gold chain, and you know, I think he played a game sleeveless, you know, and you know, I mean, I love that. I love it,
Yeah.
and a lot of people get mad. You know, a lot of people will get mad that I say, or just people say in general, that you know, let them have fun, let them be expressive, you know, let them argue, you know. I mean, no contact right now, but you know, you know, but like
Yeah.
let them, you know, let
The
them.
only thing that I don't like is when they throw at guys' heads because
No,
like
for
Yeah.
sure.
someone is going to get seriously injured. And I was
Yeah.
actually, I mean, I might be biased, you know, being from Texas. I was glad that MLB suspended Joe Kelly, and I think it was deserved
Mhm.
because, like even with the Astros cheating, I don't think it's okay to throw at a guy's head. If
No,
you
for
if
sure.
you if you
Yeah.
want to show up the Astros, then beat him on the field.
Yeah.
And so far,
Exactly.
teams have actually been doing that this season.
Yeah.
That's another discussion about the Astros this year.
Yeah. That I totally agree with like they need to address baseball's silly unwritten rules, man. Like, I'm a black man and it's tough sometimes like seeing somebody throw 95 at somebody's head, because of something they did like at a previous game. Like who harbors that? Like I don't really understand that. I can definitely see why like a lot of like my friends who are also black don't watch baseball because of unwritten rules, like the lack of it, and why they more geared towards like basketball and football. Yeah, but if they just change somehow, like addressed it and like really like actively like put out like written code that hey, if you throw at a batter's head, you'll be suspended or suspended indefinitely for this amount of games. Like it would really send a message. It would really send a message. And guys like Tim Anderson, guys like the late Jose Fernandez, they were great for baseball, man. They were so great. I remember Jose Fernandez hit a home run against the Braves, and he got greeted by Brian McCann at home plate.
Yeah,
It's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a culture change that needs to happen, and it'll take time to happen. But MLB
Yeah.
needs to do more to sort of spearhead that. Because like right now, you know, if you throw out a guy, you'll get 5 games, 8 games. That's for if you're a pitcher. That's what 2 starts, maybe 3,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or 1 start, maybe 2. I mean, and
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
I think it should be like 30 games or more.
Absolutely.
Honestly,
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I actually totally forgot and didn't even realize that Joe Kelly threw at his head. It makes a lot more sense why they suspended him.
Yeah.
I'm okay. Look, there's one thing. I don't like hitting players, but I'm okay with brushing them back. Because even when I used to play, I used to do that. Brush them back a little bit, throw really inside to make them get back off the plate or send like a signal. But yeah, no, aiming at someone's head is not good. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, like, I mean, it wasn't on purpose from Mike Fiers, but when Stan got hit in the face,
Yeah.
Oh
that's
man. Yeah,
dangerous.
I do remember that.
That's dangerous. And it was bad. It was
And
bad.
that was a case where it wasn't even intentional.
It
So
was
it's
not
like, and
intentional.
if you're
Yeah.
aiming at someone's head and you actually do hit them in the place where Stanton got hit, I mean, it was actually just I think last week that was the 100th anniversary of Ray Chapman getting hit in the head and dying
Oh wow.
as a result of that. And that led MLB to like start replacing the balls more and taking like actual precautions. So it's like, you know, that was before batting helmets and stuff. But I mean,
Oh yeah.
a
Yeah.
batting
I'm
helmet,
familiar with that. Yeah.
a batting helmet is not going to save you all the time. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you guys remember him, a prospect for the Cubs, I believe. His name was Adam Greenberg. I think he
Oh
had
yeah.
like
He got hit in the head. Yeah.
I think he had like one at bat in his career or two. I think it was one, and the one at
It
bat he
was
got
one.
hit in the
Yeah.
head, hit in the head,
Yeah.
and he never played. But the Marlins did something because it was the Marlins that actually hit him, and the Marlins actually signed him, I think in 2012 or 13, and he had one more at bat.
Yeah.
He struck out, unfortunately, I think against R.A. Dickey. Of all people to
Yeah.
face your first at bat,
Man, that
what? I mean,
sucks.
it's unfortunate. I'm pretty sure it was R.A. Dickey. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was R.A. Dickey. And but yeah, he got hit in the head and he couldn't play ever again. So it's very dangerous to be hit in the head. And yeah, you're 100% right. You should never be throwing at the head. So
How do you guys feel about having a worldwide draft? Like instead of it just being like North American, Puerto Rican players, how do you guys feel about like it being worldwide? So like people in Dominican.
Oh yeah, I was actually gonna bring that up on our discussion about how to improve MLB.
Okay.
I think an international draft would be healthy. I also think that minor leaguers need to be paid more.
Absolutely.
Teams need to pay their minor league players a living wage, because players should not be having to get like other jobs during the off
Yeah,
season.
to make ends meet, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like they're professional athletes, and that should be their full-time job. I don't care if they're a first round draft pick or a 40th round draft pick.
Yeah.
Like you brought that player into your organization for a reason, and you should treat him such. So if I was like a GM, I would have like both like I would have like year-round pay, not just during the season, year-round pay, and I would actually have like my players like live in a facility, like athletics facility during the off seasons, so where they could train and stuff, and have
Yeah.
like meals prepared for them. Because a lot of minor leaguers don't have like they have like terrible nutrition just because they don't have money. They don't have
Yeah.
the catering services that they do in the majors.
Yeah.
So like
True.
they'll often eat like just PB&J or something like that.
Beef jerky. Yeah.
Yeah. So better pay and better facilities for minor leagues,
I
and
don't know if you guys, I don't know
don't
if you
cut
guys,
like 40 teams like they're planning on doing.
I know that's honestly so sad. Because let me tell you, in Florida, we have so many minor league teams, and I don't know if they're cutting any here. I don't think they are, but people love it. People love minor league baseball. I mean, I've gone to the St. Lucie Mets, the games over there many times. I've gone to Jupiter many times to watch the Marlins games. They're fun. They're really fun. They're different environments. They're goofy. They're it's just fun. And honestly, all the tickets are cheap, so like it's cool to see like your favorite prospect, you know, go out there and you're like in the front row.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if you've seen, but like about that living wage thing is, it's really sad. I saw a video one time of, I think it was these 6 teammates living together in like a 2 or 1 bedroom apartment.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
That's rough.
And yeah, and it was disgusting. So, no, it's bad. No, it's bad. And you know, it's just tough how to figure out the pay, like how to get the money exactly. And I think that's the reason why they wanted to cut so many minor league teams, is because, I mean, there is truth to, there may be way too many minor league teams. You
Maybe,
know,
yeah.
we have low A, single A, high A, double A, triple A,
I mean, like
Gulf Coast League.
the best prospects often skip levels all the time.
Hmm.
True.
So I don't, maybe we don't need that many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if Rob Manfred wants to cut all those minor league teams, he better pay every single minor
Yeah.
league player the way. And if he doesn't, oh my god, that'll be bad. But I don't think they will do that. I think they will hopefully at least increase it a little bit.
Yeah.
So
If it's just cutting it just because it's like, oh, we don't feel like paying, like we feel like paying even less money to our minor leaguers, then yeah, that's just scummy, honestly.
Yeah.
But like maybe it's a necessity. I don't know the financials of all those minor league programs, and maybe they need to, but it like you said, it's like they need to have some benefits with it.
Yeah, and honestly, 2 things. I think 2 things that fit in. I think the minor league teams that do get thrown out, I think they can easily form or join an independent league and just expand the independent league. I think the independent league has, great potential to find players, and if they can grow the independent league, that'll be great. Also, I hate, and hate's a very strong word, but it's true. I hate that the draft, that they want to cut down the draft. I hate that it was 5 rounds, first of all. I think it should be 15, 20, I would say.
Agreed.
Yeah.
But not 40. I think 40 is way too long. But 15, 20 is good. But 5, like this whole 5-round draft this past year I hated it. I really didn't like it.
Yeah.
So I
there
hope
were
they
so
change
many
that.
there are so many good players who will never get the opportunity now,
Yeah.
because like next year no one's going to take them, and this year was their only chance. Like they were in their last year of eligibility or something. All those D2 and D3 players who would have gotten drafted are now won't.
Yep, and that's it's unfortunate, So I'm pretty sure they'll go back to a lot more. I hope more than 5. I hope they don't keep it at 5 because I think that'll be a mistake. So, you know.
Yeah, I also think they should you should be able to trade picks.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
That'd make the draft so much more interesting.
Yeah. Like I know in hockey, you can trade is it 7 rounds? Yeah, 7 rounds of picks, right? So maybe put a cap, like maybe it's like for baseball, have it so that 1 through 7 you can trade those picks, but maybe after that you can't trade like your picks after that. And the reason being is that you have those stupid teams that will like trade out all their picks, right? For money. So I don't want to
The
name drop any.
Pirates would definitely be the team that would trade
Oh
away all
yeah,
their
that's
draft picks.
I didn't want to name drop them, but that's the team. That was the team I was thinking of. Yeah,
I'll name drop them.
yeah,
No, yeah, I think trading draft picks is a must, and I don't know. I don't understand how baseball hasn't done that already. To be honest, I think they're really late
Well,
with
it's in
that.
every single sport, every major sport except baseball, right?
Yep.
You can do it in football and basketball and hockey.
Yep. The only picks you can trade in baseball are the compensation ones, right, Andrew? Or
Pardon me?
baseball can only trade the compensation picks,
Compensation, yeah,
Or
compensation.
you mean
yeah.
the competitive balance ones?
Competitive balance. Yeah, that's what I
balance.
meant. Yeah,
Yeah.
Competitive balance, yeah. Competitive balance, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, they should be able to trade all of them, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I could see like maybe protecting the first 10 like they do with free agency.
Mm-hmm.
Where if you have a pick in the first 10, then you don't lose it for free agency and you can't trade it. Because, if trades are like happening, before the final rounds, or like before the round order is decided, then there could be some mix-ups. So like I could see protecting the first 10 maybe in case a team like tanks and then they end up losing like the number 2 pick or something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I definitely agree that they need to be allowed to trade them.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about because you mentioned tanking. I think a draft lottery would also be pretty beneficial in baseball too. Because I know they've had a problem with tanking.
Yeah.
And I think draft lotteries definitely help with teams to avoid tanking. So
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I'm
Maybe
not
have like a
sure I
floor.
like that because,
Yeah.
in other leagues, if you get drafted, you go to the league straight away. But with baseball, it's like they're like 4 or 5 years away, So I'm not sure. You still have to be able to hit with your draft picks, and I feel like a lottery would just randomize it even more. I feel like it would be even harder for bad teams to like get out of being in a rut.
But for the next thing, I don't know which one you guys want to go on. If you guys want to go on the most surprising players, pitchers right now, or the most disappointing too. If you guys want to briefly go over that, because been a lot of surprises so far this COVID year.
It really has.
Yeah.
And I think part of that is like that, like their rosters are so big, and there's a lot of just terrible pitchers, and also like it's still a very small sample size. But
Yeah.
I don't know who you guys had, but I wrote a couple names down. The first guy I had is Robbie Grossman.
I was gonna say
Oh.
Robbie Grossman.
I was looking at his StatCast profile to try and see, and he's not really hitting the ball that much harder.
Mm-hmm.
It's less than a 2 miles per hour difference between this year and last year. But he is hitting the ball in the air like a lot more. So I don't know if he's made a swing change. I haven't watched enough video on him to determine that. But leave it to Billy Beane to be able to turn a career role player like Robbie Grossman into like the best player on the team.
Yeah, but what about he was the best player in baseball until today. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. The guy on the Giants, Mike. How do you pronounce his last name?
Yastrzemski.
Yastrzemski.
Yeah, Mike Yastrzemski.
Technically, in running for MVP right now.
Yeah.
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 His team needs to win games, though. I don't know if like team voters will vote for him like they vote for Trout. You know?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have seen. I'm trying to look for his stats. Can't find it. But Donovan Solano,
Oh yeah,
also for the
he turned the
Giants.
cover off the ball. Yeah, hits
I think he's
a lot of
hitting like
doubles.
last time I checked, he was hitting 392. He's hitting 386. So a little dip, little dip.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to say Charlie Blackmon just with how good he's been? I mean, we know Charlie Blackmon is good, but like
Yeah,
he has
I
a
wanted him on
legit
my Jays.
chance to like hit 500 or not 500, but hit 400.
400.
I mean,
Yeah.
he is down to 426, and he was at 500 like I think just a week ago.
A week ago,
So
maybe.
yeah,
Yeah.
his average is dropping, but hopefully
Yeah.
it'll slow down a little bit. I would love to see a 400 hitter.
Yeah. For surprising hitter, well, the Robbie Grossman thing, he's always had ability. I remember they said there was a stat that he and Dick Swisher are the only prospects ever, or at the time, to have 100 runs scored and 100 walks in a season. So I always figured that he'd have ability, right? I think he was on the he was on the Pirates, and he got traded in the. I'm trying to remember what trade it was. Wandy Rodriguez? Did the Wandy Rodriguez? Yeah, the Wandy Rodriguez trade. So he's always had ability. So I think it's just a matter of opportunity. I think that's just what it was. He never really had opportunity with the Twins, with all the teams he's been on. So yeah, but for terms of surprising hitter, definitely Anthony Santander with the Orioles. So he's a guy that I've really I've liked. I'm a sucker for the Rule 5 draft, right? And he was taking the Rule 5 draft. So he's a guy that I've really, really surprised by like what he's doing. Not that like I'm surprised that he's hitting for power, but he's always had above average power, but it's just more like he's like really hitting. He's really hitting the ball, and it's really surprising, you know? Like I thought like maybe we'd have to go to the minors and like fine tune his swing, right? But yeah, he's a guy that I'm really surprised with what he's doing this year.
We
He's
just
at
say the
9
whole
home runs right now.
Orioles team, like just their entire team.
Oh, their entire team is hitting the cover off the ball. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's true.
They're above the Red Sox right now, which is pretty embarrassing.
Yeah.
Hey, so if we're gonna go to disappointing, I want to read you guys some players. I don't know if you guys have seen, but these are some notable players with a negative WAR so far. I'm gonna try to read at least a few. Okay.
Okay.
So we got Josh Reddick,
Mhm.
Gleyber Torres, Eugenio Suarez, Miguel Cabrera, Shohei Ohtani, Tommy Pham, JD Martinez, Cody Bellinger, Vlad Guerrero Jr., Jose Altuve, Rafael Devers, Josh Bell, Andrew McCutchen, Evan White, David Dahl. Those are just some of the notable names on there. So those are all my big disappointments.
Yeah.
It feels
Yeah.
almost unfair to talk about disappointing players because we're 25 games into the season, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like
It's
we'll
like-
probably have this topic again maybe in another like 20, 25 games.
Yeah.
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 Because, like, people love talking about Altuve, and it's like, oh, he's missing the trash cans, you know, he can't hit it. But it's like, look at all the other players who are just having terrible years.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a small sample size.
Yeah.
No, exactly. No, 100%. You know, and I mean, I think the big thing was the time gap.
Yeah.
You know, it was unfortunate. You know.
Oh,
That's it.
surprising pitcher.
Oh, pitcher! I haven't thought about pitchers.
Yeah. Surprising pitcher. Eric, do you have anybody?
Yeah, Randy Dobnak on the Twins.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He has like a below 1 ERA, no?
Yeah,
Less than 1 now.
he's let me pull up his page real quick, but I think for a time he was leading the majors in ERA. I think then Bauer passed him. I mean, his peripherals are pretty average. He's got an xFIP of at 4 pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I think the ERA is going to flatten out a little bit, but he just has a really cool story from being a guy who was he an undrafted free agent, I think, that they signed.
I think it was Yeah, was he an independent ball or am I wrong?
He might have been. I think he might have been. But I mean, I remember when he got crap for starting game one of the ALDS against the Yankees, and people were like, "Who's this guy?" And we're like making fun of him for being an Uber driver, I think.
Yeah,
Um, and now, he's a Cy Young candidate. I mean, I know we're early. We were just talking about how we're early, but we're almost halfway through the season at this point.
yeah,
So it's definitely time to start talking about Cy Young candidates, and he's a Cy
yeah,
Young candidate. As
yeah,
crazy as that is,
yeah. For surprising pitcher, I have Dylan Bundy.
yeah,
Dylan Bundy, yeah, like he's a guy that like former number two prospect and contested number two prospect in our baseball. Jersey profile was first, but yeah, like I'm just really surprised. Like I didn't wasn't on my radar this year like at all as guys that could break out, right? I guess maybe he went to pitchers park and now with Mickey Callaway, who's a pretty good pitching coach, Simon unlocked something. So that's it's good story. It's a really good story.
how about Daniel Bard?
Is he doing good? I haven't checked.
Daniel Bard is actually doing really well.
Wow, I'm happy for
He
him.
has a 1.31 FIP.
Oh wow,
Wow.
what team is he playing for?
He's in the Rockies out of their bullpen,
Oh
and he got
wow.
his first save this year. His first save in 9 years.
Oh
Wow.
wow.
Wow, good for him. No, that's good. That's good to hear.
Great comeback story. They should make a movie about Daniel Bard, honestly.
So what's the next question we should go to, Andrew? What do you think?
Impact COVID has had on teams.
Okay.
Or do you want to? We could always talk. We can go straight to the do or die. Or
I think so.
yeah,
I
yeah,
like that
that
one.
one.
I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that
Okay,
one.
let's do
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm really excited to hear Eric supposedly has a very big surprise at third base. So
Okay.
Well, I don't know if it'll be that big of a surprise. I just usually get negative reactions when I say it, but
yeah. So this question for anyone who's watching, it's we decided to do a little topic of do or die starting lineup for the best players at each position, pretty much. So if Eric, if you want to go first, I'm very excited to hear it. So
putting me on the spot then. Okay. So I don't have mine in like a specific lineup. I just sort of went position by position.
hmm
So catcher, I went JT Realmuto. I feel like that's kind of the obvious pick. He's a good hitter and good defense. Can't ask for more out of a catcher.
Yeah.
First base, I have actually Anthony Rizzo. Um,
Hmm.
I didn't think about this too much. I'm just putting that out there. I just sort of went with my gut feeling. And Anthony Rizzo has just always been a guy. He's like the model of consistency.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, I know there's Freddie Freeman. He's very good too. It was tough to pass over Freddie Freeman, but Anthony Rizzo has been a staple for so long. As
And he has a
second,
ring.
that's true. That's true. Second base, I went with Jose Altuve. Um, I do really like Brandon Lau for the Rays. I think Brandon Lau in a couple years could be the best second baseman in the game. Um, and I know there's like Whit Merrifield on the Royals and DJ LeMahieu, but
hmm
you gotta go Altuve, man. I mean, I know, I know there's the whole cheating thing, but we know Altuve can hit the ball. He was good even when the Astros were losing 113 games. Altuve was good. Um, honestly, he could have been a Hall of Famer before this cheating thing. I think that's seriously gonna hurt his chances at making it in. But former MVP. Um, it has to be Altuve at this point. Shortstop. This one's tough. There's so many good shortstops. You really can't go wrong with any of them. But I went with Fernando Tatis. On top of just the great year that he's having, he's also probably the guy I would want going forward as the shortstop for my team. Third base, so I am actually not going with Chris Bryant. And my answer might surprise a lot of people because I genuinely believe that Chris Bryant, not Chris Bryant. Did I say Chris? I meant Nolan Arenado.
Oh, okay.
Arenado, yeah. I think Nolan Arenado is around fourth or fifth best third baseman.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of his splits outside of Coors Field. People talk about the Coors effect a lot for hitters, and I feel for Arenado, it's actually true. Because he's still a good hitter. You know, don't get me wrong. Outside of Coors, he's still a good hitter. He's just not like an MVP caliber hitter that I think a guy like Anthony Rendon is, or a guy like Yohan Moncada or Jose Ramirez or Alex Bregman. So for my best third baseman, I'm actually going with Matt Chapman. I think Matt Chapman is super underrated. He is one of the most like balanced players. He's obviously a Gold Glover, one of the best defensive third basemen in the game. He is a pretty good base runner. He doesn't steal a lot of bases, but he doesn't make outs on the base pass. He doesn't really have the flashy offensive numbers. He doesn't have a high average or a lot of RBIs or a ton of home runs. But if you look at like his advanced stats, he's actually up there with Arenado out on the road. Arenado's numbers on the road are like identical to Chapman's numbers. So yeah, that's my semi-hot take for third base. I feel like not a lot of people would have gone with Chapman, but I kind of want to give my boy some love. So, I guess outfield. I mean, Trout is the obvious one, and then I really struggled with the other two spots, but I ended up going with Mookie Betts, and I went with Mookie Betts and Cody Bellinger. So I just sort of went with the most recent MVPs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's a lot of guys you could go with, but like, you have to take Mookie. He's a Hall of Famer. Trout is a Hall of Famer, and Bellinger could definitely easily be a Hall of Famer. So, for pitching, I just went with one. I didn't know if I needed a whole staff or like just relievers.
Oh no, just one.
Yeah, so for just one, I actually went with Jack Flaherty.
Oh wow, okay.
I struggled, but I was thinking about going forward. Who would I rather have? Would I rather have DeGrom, who's 32, or would I have Scherzer, who's 34, or Verlander, who's like 36, or Cole, who's 30, or I could have Jack Flaherty, who's 24. Jack Flaherty was my pick to win the Cy Young in the National League this year. And he could very easily still do that. But like last season, he had 2.75 ERA, 4.7 WAR, and that was as a 23-year-old. But I love his stuff, and I feel like the command is improving. Like, he's lowered his walks per nine like every single year. And he's also lowered his home run rate every single year. I feel like he's going to be like the next like best pitcher in the game. Either him or Walker Buehler, who is my second choice.
Oh, okay. Nice.
And I didn't pick a reliever.
Chris, you should definitely go next.
Let me go next? All right.
Well, were there any like objections to my hot takes or?
We'll go over it now. I mean, at least for mine. I got you.
Okay.
I got
Okay.
you.
Let's
So
hear
I
it.
agree with you with catcher. We're on the same page. Real Muto is my guy. I think he's a perfect combination for a catcher. You know, yeah, he can hit, he can field. People forget he can run too. Surprisingly, he's pretty athletic.
Oh yeah.
So he's pretty good. First base, I actually do have Rizzo also. I would have put Pete Alonso, but like Eric said, Rizzo has been here longer, more consistent, and I think Rizzo's defense is a lot better than Alonso. Second base, this one, I think I had the toughest time on. I was telling Eric earlier, because this guy, I mean, he plays multiple positions, but I think this year he's been playing second. This is definitely going to change 100% in the future. But I had Ketel Marte as the best second baseman in baseball.
It's a good choice.
Yeah, but it's definitely going to change, though. I believe by next season there has to be someone that comes up that does better, or even by the end of this season there has to be someone. I know Lau, like you said on the Rays, has been. Is it Lau or Low?
I'm not sure. I say
Brandon
Lau,
Lau.
but
Brandon
I
Lau.
don't know.
It's
Right,
Lau.
okay. So yeah, I think right now he's obviously the best one. But I just put Ketel Marte just based on last year, and so far he's hitting the cover off the ball too this year. Third base I had Rendon, but honestly I could have gone Chris Bryant also, but I did put Rendon just because when I was looking at the stats, I was pretty surprised he's been the best third baseman, I think, in the past couple of years or so. So he's surprisingly my top third baseman, or Chris Bryant, honestly. Either or you can go wrong with. Shortstop, I agree with you with Tatis. I think he's easily the best shortstop in baseball. Outfield's different though. My outfield is definitely different. And honestly, I kind of feel bad because I don't have Mookie Betts or Bellinger on mine.
Oh.
You have Trout
I
though, right?
I obviously have Trout.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'd have to kick you off the podcast if you did.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
I obviously have Trout, and I think honestly, I think this is gonna change too because I'm gonna say my last one as like a surprise, but I do have
Okay.
Yelich. I do have Christian Yelich, but I do think that's gonna change. I think Yelich is amazing. I mean, obviously he won MVP 2 years in a row, but um, I honestly have borderline Yelich, Betts, Bellinger, or Soto, like borderline. Any of those guys you can't go wrong with, in my opinion. And my last guy, oh man, I'm gonna get kicked out the podcast just for saying who this is. I know Eric's gonna want to fight me.
What, Manny Machado?
Oh no, no. I mean, honestly, you couldn't even put him at third base. Honestly, either. I mean, I know he's been struggling, but he's still one of the best. But I do have Bryce Harper in there. So.
Oh wow.
That's I respect it.
And honestly, I didn't want to say it earlier, but I do think Bryce Harper is the face of baseball. So
I can kind of see that. I
Yeah.
think if he hadn't left the Nationals and then won the World Series with them, I think he definitely would be.
I know.
Yeah.
It's really unfortunate because I really wish he stayed on the Nationals. That was my dream that he would just stay on the Nationals or go to the Cubs. But
I'm gonna be honest though about your list. I kind of forgot about Ketel Marte, so
Mhm.
I might put him over Altuve.
He was a breakout player last year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So but and then my pitcher is Max Scherzer. I just think he's the best right now. And I think the best pitcher in the future, I think it's just a prospect that will eventually come up. I don't know yet. But
Dustin May with that 98-mile-an-hour sinker.
Nasty.
he is nasty. But
I actually almost went Justin May over Walker Buehler and Jack Flaherty.
And they're on the same rotation. Oh my gosh. They're in the
It's
same rotation.
unfair. It's unfair.
I know. But you know what? Honestly, the Dodgers, who knows if they actually win? They
They have to. They
they're
have to win one of these times. It's gonna
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
They can't not win with all the money that they spend.
I know. And
It's
I think their team is excellent this year. I don't know how they don't win, to be honest with you. So
It's paintbrush without the T brush.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah. So that was my biggest surprise. I think Harper is I think he's a generational talent. I just think he's had hate just because of like we talked earlier, his energy and stuff, and the way he
He's
carries
still
himself.
just 27 years old. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
And I think Harper will be better at an older age than Trout will be. That's just my opinion. I think Harper will have a longer, more productive career than Trout.
If he can stay
Wow.
healthy.
What makes you say that though?
Um, I don't, I don't know. I guess it's just I just see Harper as more. I just see a different beast with Harper. I just see a different beast with Harper, and you know, I don't know. I don't know. I just see it more naturally with Harper. Him being able to like. I have no problem with the contract the Phillies gave him. I thought it was fine. Actually,
Wow, okay.
I actually thought it was bad for Harper
13
because
years though?
yeah. So I think it was bad for Harper actually because he had no trade clause for some reason. He didn't want to get traded for some reason. I mean, like the team ends up sucking. I don't know why you don't want to get traded, but you know, yeah, I was okay with this contract. I was okay. I'm fine. I was fine with it.
13 years though.
Yeah, I was fine. He's a rare case. He's a rare case of me actually being like, you know what, I like that long term deal. Him and
So
Machado.
so you would take Bryce Harper in the future over Mookie Betts in the future.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. I would not have given Mookie Betts that contract. No way. No way. I mean, like, how old Mookie Betts? He's like 30, right? He's 30.
No, he's like the same
No.
age as Harper, I think.
Yeah, I
I
believe he's
think he's
27.
27.
Oh, he's that young still. Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Okay. Still, I still rather have Harper at an older age than Mookie Betts. I don't know why. I just see Harper as like that guy when even when he's 35, he's still gonna be a little productive. I just see him as that guy.
I mean, I thought that the Max Scherzer deal was going to backfire big time on the Nationals, and he's been better than ever.
Yeah. I
You
mean, I
never
was.
know with these players who remain productive into their 30s. And
Yeah.
those players are the type of players who go down as the greatest of all time.
Like for me, I would have if I was a GM, like I would have went all out for Max Scherzer because one thing that I kind of observed and is obviously like anomalies as well, right? Guys that are in contract years that don't perform like their greatest, they usually go on to perform with other teams, like absolutely killing it. So like Max Scherzer or like Yu Darvish as recently as this year when he signed his contract last season. Who else am I thinking of? Well, Harper, who I knew that he could probably still perform. I'm trying to think of who else. Those are the three guys that stick to me, but yeah, usually guys that
Verlander.
Verlander. I'm trying to remember. I don't.
Well, he did
Nah,
re-up. He re-upped with the Astros, I think.
he re-upped with the Astros for 2 years. Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe that's 70 mil. Yeah.
Oh, well, let's actually hear your list, Andrew.
Oh
As much
yeah.
as
So I
we
don't know.
love it.
I kind of have a way I want to do it, but I don't know if you guys would want to sit here and hear me try to do my New York Yankee. I forgot the guy's name, but he's dead now. But he was the guy that would say Derek Jeter's name. He's like number 2, Derek Jeter, and I'm just debating if I should do that. I'm
If you
debating.
want to, man, go for it.
Okay. Batting number 1, shortstop. Number 23, Fernando Tatis Jr. Number 2, batting number 2, center field. Number 27, Mike Trout. Number 3, I'm playing left field. Number 22, Juan Soto. Batting cleanup, right field. Number 50, Mookie Betts. Batting number 6, playing second base. Number 26, DJ LeMahieu. Batting number 7, number 23, playing DH, Nelson Cruz. Batting number 8. Oh, actually, you know what I did? I actually made a mistake here. Okay, hold on. 3, 6.
Eric and I we forgot to do a DH.
Yeah, that's true. I
Oh,
didn't do a
okay,
DH.
yeah. Yeah, I
But
think
continue. We'll say at the end. We'll say at the end.
okay. You know what? You know what I did? So I'm at number, I believe number 7 here, but I said 8, so I'll just continue. So man, I'm a horrible Yankee announcer, eh? Hate the Yankees, by the way. Yeah, so batting number 7, catcher number 10, JT Realmuto. Batting number 8, playing first base, number 20, Pete Alonso. And then batting number 9, which is kind of insane, playing third base, number 2, Alex Bregman. Pitcher, number 45, Garrett Cole. Yeah, I kind of gave up on my accent after like reading Mike Trout's name because I was like, you know what? Yeah, I sound ridiculous.
No, it's fine, man. It actually sounded pretty accurate.
You know,
Yeah,
and
I
honestly,
enjoyed that.
I don't really have any objections. I think the LeMahieu was a pretty good hot take there.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. You know, and Juan Soto, I think Juan Soto will definitely be in that top 3 outfielders.
Yeah.
He's so
He's
talented. It's
amazing, yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
But yeah, Eric, do you have a DH? I have one in my mind already.
So I don't like having a guy who only plays DH. I think it's a waste of a roster spot. So
Mhm.
for my DH, I would just pick the best player who didn't make my team, and that's probably Christian Yelich.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
And I would rotate him in with Cody Bellinger in the outfield so that they could get days off because they're both good at defense.
Okay, well, and then if I do it like you, I'll say both. I have my only DH as Jordan Alvarez, and
Oh,
unfortunately,
that's a great pick.
yeah, I don't know if you guys saw it yesterday, but he's out for the year. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
Torn.
very
it's
Patella
another
tendon or
blow to
something.
the Astros.
Yeah.
They've lost a lot of guys to injuries.
Yeah.
I
Springer's
know,
on a
and
deal, right?
Yeah,
and
and
man,
Verlander and most of their bullpen.
Wow.
yeah, but no, I love Jordan Alvarez. I don't know if Andrew remembers, but I told him like 3 years ago. I said, man, I wish the Martins can somehow like do a trade with the Astros
Oh, I remember
and
that. Yeah.
and
I
get Jordan
remember.
Alvarez. I loved him forever. So I think he's incredible. I mean, that man's he's one of the most intimidating hitters in baseball, in my opinion. That man is scary. I would not want to pitch to him.
He's
You
like
know.
6'5", like 225, 235, right?
He can hit a home run anywhere. Opposite
Yeah.
field, center field, pull it. I mean, it's unbelievable. No matter where
Yeah.
you throw it, no matter where you throw it, he's hitting it out. So,
Yeah.
but if I besides an actual DH, I'd probably say Bellinger or Mookie Betts, and they
Okay.
can flip flop. Mookie can go against lefties, and Bellinger can go against righties.
You're gonna bench one of Mookie Betts or Cody Bellinger.
I know, right?
Jeez.
I know. I mean, unless Mookie feels like playing second base, you know. So.
Yeah, he did as a prospect.
That's what I'm saying. He could, yeah, exactly. So, boom.
Oh, what about JD Martinez as a DH?
That's a good one, but he's struggling so
He's
bad
struggling
right
this
now.
year.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, but definitely, if this year didn't happen, I'd probably still go Alvarez, but JD Martinez definitely would be there.
Yeah, if I was cheating by picking Yelich, then my pick is JD Martinez. But I think Nelson Cruz is actually a good choice too. That's another guy who he's
100%.
defied the years. Defied the
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
He's 40.
Yeah.
It's
Crazy.
unbelievable. I forgot how old he was. I thought he was like 30 something, like 35.
Okay, here's an off the cuff question for you guys. Do you think Nelson Cruz is a Hall of Fame DH?
No, 'cause
Not
steroids.
outfield, but just DH.
No, because of steroids. That's the only reason why. If it wasn't for steroids, probably.
So what about David Ortiz? Is he a Hall of Famer to you?
That's a tough one because his is like inconclusive, right? His story about how like he tested positive, one of the 204 players tested positive for steroids. Yeah. So his is inconclusive until we know the facts. I would say yes, but it's tough, man, because you don't. I guess you can't take one without taking the other almost, right? But
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Ortiz is definitely a Hall of Famer. I'm looking at Nelson Cruz's stats right now. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. No.
He has hit 400 career home runs. I think at least 400. Yeah.
Yeah, but he only has 1,700 career hits, which is pretty surprising, actually.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem with Cruz is that he just got started very late.
27 or 28. Yeah.
He
Or was
didn't
it
start
29?
playing full time with the Rangers until he was 29.
Okay. Yeah.
In 2009, he had 128 games. He would
Hmm.
have been 29 then.
Yeah. Like Batista.
Tommy fan too.
I feel Cruz is no, not unless he plays until he's 45 and continues the same production, which would be incredible if he does that. But
Yeah.
I feel like he just got started too late. But like if you look at just his age 30 to current and compare that to like other Hall of Fame players, he kind of lines up like other Hall of Fame DHs. Like
Yeah.
his 30 to 40 is like up there with Ortiz and Edgar. You know, it's not quite as insane, but he's had a good career, honestly.
Yeah.
No, for sure, for sure. But no, yeah, I think Ortiz was just he was just that guy,
Yeah.
and
He's a generational player.
he's definitely
Yeah.
a generational player, So
All-Star Weekend ideas and ways that you would improve the All-Star Weekend. I'll start with Andrew actually because I don't think you've gone first yet. So go ahead.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. My idea is to have like a sprinting competition where the fastest of the fast either compete side by side in a 60-yard dash or a home to home sprint. One, obviously you can't have like three people or like more than that, like doing a home to home sprint, right? So it has to be one person at a time. So either that or that. And also another idea I had was to have like an all-star fantasy draft with like I know like in basketball they have a fantasy draft where the top vote getter in the West and the top vote getter in the East, they they draft players, like they draft players from like best to like their number one pick to like their last pick, right? I figured if they did that in baseball, it could really garner interest. I know hockey did something like that, right? And I remember the first year was actually kind of funny because the last player picked was the only Toronto Maple Leafs All Star, Phil Kessel, and they called the car they gave him the Kessel Mobile, so that was quite interesting. So I figured if they did something like that in baseball, it could really garner interest and like just anything to spice up the All Star weekend. Those are just some of the ideas a couple of ideas that I have. I don't know if Chris wants to go next
what
or
about you,
Eric.
Eric?
Yeah, I everything that I was trying to think of for this question, I felt like would players actually take this seriously? And most of the time that was no
Yeah,
because I feel like players like don't want to risk injuring themselves, so they're not going to go like full out. Like I love the idea of a sprint competition, but are players really going to run full speed and risk injuring themselves? Probably not. So some of this stuff I feel like MLB would have to give like a prize, like the home run derby. I
oh
think they
yeah,
have
yeah,
like
for
a
sure,
cash
for sure.
prize or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah.
Which actually, by the way, I love the new home run derby format. I think it's really good.
Yeah.
That's like the only
It is
good thing
good.
Rob Manfred has done as commissioner. um, um,
100%.
but I think that we could really make the All-Star game interesting by um, just trying a bunch of weird stuff in the game. Like if they started every inning with the bases loaded and one out, for example, wouldn't that be pretty crazy if they did that? You would have guys like, you'd have like crazy double plays, you'd have clutch strikeouts. You could just, I don't know how the logistics would work or if they would do it for all 9 innings, but like maybe each inning you could have like a different gimmick. I don't know if that is just too weird, but it would definitely be something that would be interesting to see. And like, if we did it in the All-Star game where it really doesn't matter and no one's taking it seriously anyway, why not go all out and just try a bunch of weird stuff that we would never see otherwise? You know, you could play with 12 players on the field or something like that, or 5 players on the field. Put all your fastest players out there, but only 4 or 5 of them, and they have to figure out how to cover all the bases and cover all the positions. I don't know. Just try a bunch of weird stuff and see what is fun and see what sucks.
Yeah, that's interesting. That brings me to an idea that I had. I actually heard from somebody. I can't remember who it was. He had said what they should do in baseball is that in the 9th inning, the manager should be able to pick whichever last 3 hitters to come to the plate. So say if the batting order, I'll use who should I use as an example? Like the Angels. I don't know their batting lineup this year, but I know last year Cole Calhoun would hit first, Mike Trout hit second, and Albert Pujols hit third, right? So imagine if you had it so that I would say Mike Trout hit last, Cole Calhoun hit second, and then I don't know, Shohei Ohtani hit first or something like that. I think that'd be really interesting. I think that'd be interesting having the manager pick the last 3 hitters of the 9th inning.
Only you would probably pick Rendon and not Calhoun.
Okay, yeah.
Or David Fletcher, actually, which I should have brought up in surprising players. I wanted to talk about David Fletcher.
He's playing shortstop now, right? Because Simmons is hurt?
Maybe. Either that or third base.
Okay.
But he was actually, I looked on his Fangraphs page, he was actually good last year. But he wasn't a good hitter, but he was good at defense. But then this year, he's actually hitting really well.
Oh, okay.
The Angels have so many good players, but the pitching is just not there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I would say for me, the All-Star weekend, I mean, I think it's okay right now. I think it's fun, but I just have some random things that probably make no sense, but why not?
Mm-hmm.
I have double play combos. The best, shortstop, second baseman on your team, like the Marlins, for example, Miguel Rojas, Isan Diaz, or Gleyber Torres, DJ LeMahieu, or a Carlos Correa Altuve, which I think would be awesome. And they just do almost like a dunk contest, but for double plays. Who can do the most creative double play?
Oh, wow.
Something like that. I don't know.
Okay.
Who knows?
And I guess judges would judge, right? Who has the most fanciest?
Yeah, for sure. Just don't invite Dwayne Wade. But and also I had Andrew a draft. I think that's cool. That's cool. I mean, I do like the NL-AL. I don't think they'll ever change that. But who knows? Yeah. But honestly, I do like the NL-AL format. It is a very biased though, with the fan voting and stuff. So maybe if anything, you can vote in the players, but then maybe have a captain that, maybe makes the lineup or chooses the positions or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Another one I had was, but this is one kind of like Eric was saying, that players just wouldn't want to risk getting hurt, is maybe outfielders. They can throw from the outfield to try to hit a target from a far distance or whatever. Cespedes would win automatically. But
if he's still in the league, yeah.
But yeah, that's one that's you don't want a player to get hurt. You know what I mean? Can you imagine if someone throws from the outfield and they freaking blow their arm out? You know what I mean? So so that's only one. But I do like the double play combo one. I think that may be a little interesting, maybe.
One thing I forgot to add from mine is that you could tie this in with a home run derby, is a bat flip competition. Highest, farthest bat flip, I don't know. You can judge it however you want. However they judge the slam dunk contest, same rules apply. The most flashy, show up your opponent bat flip wins I don't know, an extra home run or something in their home run derby round.
That'd be awesome. I know he's probably going to retire soon, but Batista he's had some. I know everyone thinks about the iconic bat flip against the Rangers, but he's had some pretty epic bat flips like in the season, man. Oh
That
my
was
God.
an epic bat flip, and it pains me to say that.
Yeah.
So this is like a random question for you guys. Are there any players in this past draft that you wouldn't even mind bringing up right away? I can name a few.
Just like the 2020 draft,
Yeah. Yeah.
Torkelson.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Torkelson, probably maybe Kerstad, but yeah, definitely Torkelson.
Yeah, I think Torkelson's major league ready, and I guess because it's the whole, timing situation, but I don't see why teams don't do it, more often. I guess it's because of that, the whole, arbitration and all that. See, they need to fix all that too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, because honestly, I don't see why not Torkelson. Why not? Especially now where the Tigers are actually doing kind of decent.
I'm actually
Yeah.
gonna pull up the 2020 draft because I don't remember everyone in it.
Yeah.
I think one is, and I know Andrew may get surprised, but I know Max Meyer for the Marlins. I don't think a starter, but he could definitely relief right now.
Yeah. I was a fan of
Easily.
his. I was a big fan of his.
Yeah, no, definitely
Yeah.
he can relief right now.
Another guy, Garrett Crochet for the White Sox.
Mm.
Garrett, either Crochet or Crochet. I'm not even sure, but
I think it's Crochet.
Crochet, yeah. Left-hander up to 100 with just a nasty secondary there.
I mean, like, I don't know if you guys remember, like, Brandon Finnegan and stuff,
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a cautionary tale as to bring up guys too early,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but what about him?
No, I was gonna say that, sometimes you got to do that because I mean he was successful.
He
in the
was,
beginning,
yeah.
So I don't see why not, especially like if you're in the running, especially right now in this COVID season where
Yeah.
technically any team's in it and we're having a 16-team playoff. I
Mhm.
don't see why not. You bring up someone like Torkelson or Max Mayer or even like an Asa Lacy
Yeah.
or I don't see why not. And
Yeah.
I think for pitchers it's easier
Oh
to come
yeah.
up a little
Yeah.
faster.
Yeah.
So
Pitchers and
catchers.
well, yeah, I was gonna say like corner infield, like first base and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
actually think catchers need like way longer to develop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I just remembered that the Tigers actually drafted Torkelson as a third baseman, not a first baseman.
Mm,
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
So I don't know. Maybe they haven't brought him up because they want him to learn third base, which makes sense.
yeah. I mean,
And if that's the case, then I think they should definitely take their time about it.
Yeah.
yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I just think like in times like these where it's like anyone has a chance to make it right now, I don't see why not. I don't
Yeah.
see why not. And I think we've seen that so far with teams like bringing up their prospects like left and right. There's been so many prospects that have come up this year. I've honestly lost track.
Oh, so many prospects, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Joey Bart just made his debut tonight, I think.
Heard about
Yeah, I heard
that.
about that. Yeah, I tried getting him in fantasy, but it's too late.
Oh, that would've been
Honestly, I
good.
think it's a little early for Joey Bart because I'm a fan of
I
keeping
think I
catchers
agree with
down.
that, but yeah, I think I agree. But I just wanted to take him. I was gonna pass him off to some sucker.
It's like
That's
Bart hadn't played above AA.
Hmm.
Although, I mean, I guess he is 23, but
Okay.
Yeah. What was I gonna say?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. There's just certain players. Oh, actually, the Marlins was brought up today, but unfortunately, someone in the Mets got COVID, so they got canceled. But they brought up Sixto Sanchez and Jesus Sanchez.
oh yeah,
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
They called him up.
Both of them. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
yeah, Sixto. I remember they brought Sixto up. I didn't know what the other guy.
Yeah. So, and I mean, honestly, the Marlins doesn't need to bring up everybody. I don't know why Jazz isn't on the roster yet.
Yeah, I guess they probably feel he needs AAA. He needs to go to AAA.
I guess. I mean, might as well just put him out there.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have a second baseman right now, Oh, well, I mean,
Yeah,
Jonathan VR will play second. Yes, we do have second baseman. Yeah,
Ison Diaz, where is he?
he opted out.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So, but Jonathan VR could play second, and then
Yeah, he
Rojas
can.
is
Yeah.
playing third, and then
Yeah.
Anderson at third, and then they actually brought up Lewin Diaz. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, he played first base the other night, right?
Yeah. So they have him at first now, and then they have Aguilar at DH and stuff. Yeah,
Wow.
they're honestly not too bad. It's
Yeah.
just the bullpen. I don't
Mhm.
know if you look up right now their bullpen. I guarantee you probably only know like two players. Honestly, like I don't know where they've picked up some of these players. I mean, I know that
Yeah.
they pick them up through like waivers or just like pick up
Probably
free agent and
waivers.
stuff.
Probably
But
waivers. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's a disaster right now for the Marlins bullpen. It's honestly a disaster. Hold up, let me see if I can pull it up for you.
Okay.
Watch this. If you can name, if you know any of these players, be honest and let me know.
Oh, I'll be on. Absolutely.
Did the Marlins still have Wei Yin Chen?
No, he's on the
No, they
Mariners now. I
designated
think.
him. I think no.
Oh yeah. I mean, the Mariners need pitching help too. So.
Yeah, but Wei Yin Chen hasn't really helped, if we're being honest. He should just go back. He should just go back to South Korea and play there. I mean, I don't see why not. I don't think he's. I hated that contract since day one. Never
That's a
liked
yeah.
it.
terrible contract.
Terrible.
Horrible.
5 years, 80 mil, I believe it was.
You know, horrible. But I mean, I don't see
That
why
was
not.
the old front office though, right?
Yeah, it was.
Well, I mean, Michael Hill was still the GM, I believe.
Oh,
So,
was he?
I
Was it? I
believe
think it was
so.
Larry Beinfest.
Oh,
No,
speaking
Larry
of
Beinfest got fired
Oh,
after like
bullpens
2012.
and surprising players.
yeah.
Interesting. But Andrew, so I'm gonna read you the Marlins bullpen. All right.
Sure.
You should probably know. You should probably know like more than half of these.
Okay.
Brandon Kinsler.
Yeah.
We
Mhm.
all know him. He's our best one, honestly.
Okay.
Brad Boxberger. You know.
Yeah.
Brad Boxberger.
Yeah, I know Brad Boxberger. He played
Yeah.
for the pitch for the Reds one time too, I believe.
James Hoyt. He's been our second best reliever.
Yeah, I know James White. He was on Houston,
Yeah.
and then I don't know where
Yeah.
he was at after.
Yeah, he's our second best reliever. He's actually done pretty good. He gets a lot
Yeah.
of strikeouts, so I do like him.
Yeah.
Stephen Tarpley. You know Stephen Tarpley?
Yeah, he was on
Yep.
the Yankees, no?
Yankees. Yeah. Sterling Sharp. Remember?
Yeah, Rule 5. You know I'm a sucker for Rule 5. He was on the Nationals.
Yep. All right, here we go. Josh A. Smith.
I've actually heard the name, but I don't know who he is.
Oh, get ready for this one.
Yeah.
Remember, it's not ambidextrous, it's amphibious. Amphibious pitcher Pat Venditte.
Oh, I don't know Pat Venditte. He pitched
Venditti.
for my Jays.
Oh,
Venditti.
Venditti?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Pat
Venditti, yeah.
I love Pat Venditti.
Venditti, my
He
bad.
pitched for my Jays.
Yeah. Remember, amphibious is not ambidextrous.
Amphibious.
I don't know if you remember Nick Vincent. You remember Nick Vincent?
Heard the name, but I don't know who he is. Yeah.
Padres. Remember he was on the Padres?
Oh, okay. Was he the guy? No, he wasn't the guy that traded Carl. Was it Carl? No. What am I saying? No.
He was
I think
good
it's
at like
somebody else.
1 point. He's not bad.
Yeah.
He has a lot of break on his pitches, but not that high velocity.
Oh, okay.
All right, Josh D. Smith.
So there's a Josh A. Smith and a Josh D. Smith.
Josh D. Smith.
Wow, look at that. They're not related though, right?
No.
That is so strange.
Yeah.
No, I don't know who that is.
Okay, Brandon LeBrandt.
Nope.
LeBrandt.
I have no clue. Who that
Brand.
is. No.
Yeah. Brett Eibner.
Ebner, maybe?
Ebner. Yeah, maybe.
Okay,
bad
I'm
at
not sure who
pronouncing
that is.
names. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure who that is.
Yeah, that's our all-star bullpen.
Wow.
So
Brett Eibner. Yeah, I think I know him.
yeah,
They still have Ryan Stanek, or did they get rid of him?
he got COVID. So
Oh yeah.
and he's been such a bust. Honestly, I was excited to get him. I was like, well, we got rid of Nick Anderson, but at least we got this guy. He's not too bad. But
yeah.
I don't know if you've seen his splits. You should look it up. His splits for being a starter, like an opener, compared to being a reliever is unbelievable. You should look at it. It's honestly insane. That's why I wish the Marlins would do that. Just make him an opener. Because his splits. I don't know if you can see it real quick, Eric, but his splits are I've never seen splits like that, and I don't understand why he has splits like that. It's honestly insane.
Hey, if
So,
you had to do a bullpen draft, but you could only select members from the Marlins and the Red Sox, who do you who do you think would have more players drafted? That's the real question.
Oh,
I gotta see the Red Sox.
The
Dude,
Red
the
Sox
Red Sox
bullpen
bullpen has an ERA of like 12 or something.
yeah.
Wow.
Is Matt Barnes pitching this year?
He has, but he's been awful.
Oh wow. I've always wanted my Jays to acquire him and make him a starter.
Dude, yeah, he's better in the bullpen, trust me.
Yeah.
uh,
Like I
yeah,
stretched him out, but yeah.
I like Matt Barnes too, but he's struggled.
All right.
Red Sox have a bullpen ERA of 5.71 actually.
All right.
And that's over 123 innings, which is the most in the majors
Wow.
out of
So
their.
their starters are barely getting out of maybe the fifth inning.
They have like two starters. They have Eovaldi and Martin Perez. I'm pretty sure that's
Wow.
it.
I know
Wow.
Perez is struggling. I was watching him recently. All right. So look at the standing splits last year.
Mhm.
He had 27 starts, 2.09 ERA. He appeared in relief 36 times, 6.35 ERA.
Oh wow. Oh wow. That is crazy.
So I don't understand.
Maybe it's a psychological thing.
Maybe it is.
That's what I think. And I don't know. The Marlins haven't realized that. Maybe I should write an article about
Yeah, you should. Absolutely.
it. You know. Yeah. But yeah. No. Right now, and I guess that goes back to this question of the impact COVID has. So many players that we've never heard of, getting the chance. And honestly, I love it.
Yeah.
I love
It's
it.
been good. It's been really fun.
I honestly love these big rosters. I love these 30-man rosters. I know they're gonna go away, but I love the 30-man roster. I do like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think this is interesting. Going back to like the Red Sox bullpen. So like they have the most innings thrown by their bullpen in the majors with 123. The second team is the Rays with 120 innings.
They always do that.
But here's the difference. The Red Sox have an ERA of 5.71 and a WAR of minus 0.2. The Rays have an ERA of 3.98 and a WAR of 1.9, which is third best in baseball.
Wow.
So bullpenning only works if your bullpen is actually good. Because I know the Red Sox have gone for the opener often this year, and it has not really worked for them.
Yeah.
Because their best reliever by WAR is Dylan Covey.
Wow.
And then they have Phillips Valdez, and Brandon Workman, and Ryan Weber, who each have 0.1 WAR, and those are the only relievers with positive WARs.
Wow.
How's Verdugo doing?
He's doing decent. You know, he's probably been the most consistent hitter outside of Mitch Moreland.
Yeah, because I do like Verdugo. I've always liked Verdugo a lot.
Well, yeah, they're struggling.
Yeah.
Red Sox are struggling.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Let's go through the standings. Let's see. Let's see. I want you guys. Let me know if you guys hear any surprises. Okay. So we got first place in the AL East. Can you guys guess who?
Oh well, I'm looking at it. Hold on.
Are you looking at it right now?
Swap off.
I'm not looking. Yeah, I'm not looking.
Okay. Oh, it's the Tampa Bay Rays, with the Yankees at a close second, and then the Blue Jays. Look at the Blue Jays, Andrew.
They're third?
They're third, 12 and 11.
What?
Just saying that the Rays were my preseason World Series favorites.
Wow.
I'm just throwing that out there.
I just want to say that we'll get to it. It's honestly embarrassing if being honest. But all right, AL Central. This one should be pretty easy to guess.
Minnesota Twins.
Minnesota Twins. Yeah. And then it's the Indians, which actually is surprising to me. And then the White Sox. They all have positive records right now.
Yeah, speaking of COVID, like see how we brought the top. Well, Chris, you brought up the topic about COVID and how it's affected teams, right?
Hmm.
I wanted to briefly know, like, what do you guys think about them optioning Plisak and
Mm.
was it Clevenger? Clevenger,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah. What do you guys think about that?
They had to do it.
it had to be done. They'd have a
Yeah.
mutiny on their hands. It's from what it sounds like. But I think it's good that teams are holding those guys accountable.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the only way they're going to get through the season
Yeah,
without
they had
everyone
to.
just getting infected.
yeah,
Yeah. I wish MLB just made a bubble, to be honest with you, like the NBA.
yeah,
I really wish they did, but
yeah.
They're talking about it for playoffs, though.
Talk about it for the playoffs, though. Yeah,
I hope so because honestly, you know, yeah, that's unfortunate. I don't know if you guys heard about Oliver Perez. You guys hear what he said?
he said he would go home if yeah,
Oh
he would
man.
go home if they were back on the team, Plisak and Clevenger, right?
Yeah, so they got a problem on their hands. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's unfortunate, honestly. But all right, if we go to the AL West,
Oh, but the White Sox, actually. I've been watching a lot of their
okay,
games.
Hmm.
They're an exciting young team.
they are, man,
Yeah.
they are, and they still have a lot of prospects to come up.
Dane Dunning
You know,
went toe-to-toe with Casey Mize. That was a pretty
Yeah.
good game.
I've always liked Dane
that's fun.
Dunning. He's always had pretty good stuff.
That's fun. The White Sox have been a team that has had a lot of patience and they have a lot of prospects still to come up too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like who are some prospects still that need to come up? I know like Madrigal, right? He's
He's
one.
up, no? Or
Oh, he's
He
up.
did
got
they
injured.
yeah.
He got
Oh, he
injured,
got
I think.
injured.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. I remember seeing his name being called up.
Actually, I don't want to say for sure. I thought he got injured.
I know they have well, I wasn't really a fan of his, but
Yeah,
he always
yeah,
had
he's on the
ability.
deal.
Yeah, Jake, you guys familiar with Jake Berger?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he was a guy that I think he tore his Achilles twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I was a big fan of him when they drafted him, but
Same.
he's had some injury problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's Jake Burgers has had an unfortunate minor league start so far, but let me see who hasn't come up for the White Sox yet. Let's see. I forgot they have Andrew Vaughn.
Yeah,
Andrew Vaughn, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
then they have Crochet and Kelly, who they drafted this year.
Yeah. They had this guy I really liked, right-hander, Alec Hansen. I really liked him, but I'm not sure what happened that he's like a reliever and I'm pretty sure he's struggling.
Yeah, no, they have a lot of
And they have Michael Kopech still too, but
Oh
I
yeah,
think
Michael
he's
Kopech,
injured.
yeah. Yeah.
yeah, he's someone that's just I never saw it with Kopech. I never saw it. I thought he was always gonna, unfortunately be hurt,
Yeah.
But yeah, so if we go to the AL West, we have the Athletics in first place.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm
I
not
remember,
surprised,
yeah.
to be honest.
It
Yeah,
is a surprise. I thought the Astros were gonna run away with it.
yeah. No, I knew the Astros would struggle in the beginning, but the Astros are bouncing back though. They're only
Yeah,
2 games back.
the Astros
Yeah.
will be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, their main problems have actually been from their pitching and not their offense.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, well, they lost Cole for one,
Yeah.
and then Verlander went down, and then they lost most of the guys from their bullpen.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. But
like,
and
Osuna is out for the year. All right, so I'll give a little, I guess, official sign off or something, or if one of you guys wants to give like a sign off.
Andrew, Canadian hospitality.
Yeah, well, it's been great. Okay, I'll give it. Why not? It's been great, guys. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Chris, for having this talk with me. I really appreciate it. It's been great. Yeah, so this is the end of the Future Baseball GMs podcast, episode 1, and we hope to see you guys during episode 2. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
That was good. All right,
Sounds good.
stopping now.